Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. This is part 3 and the final part of the Monday Q&A. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Alright, first question. Please make a video on how vegetarians can build muscle, meat protein versus protein from beans, nuts, and soy, and whey protein. Alright, essentially vegetarians are no different from anyone else. You've just chosen to exclude a major food group. Your protein, fat, carb needs, and everything else stay the same as anyone else. If you're consuming enough protein, there is absolutely no reason that a large percentage of your protein cannot come from vegetable sources. And if you're adding in things like dairy and eggs or whey protein, you're not going to notice any difference at all between your results and that of a meat eater if you're getting the same basic nutrition in. And if you look at part 2, the video responses to a friend of mine, Andrew Squat 405, is a successful vegetarian powerlifter who benches 385 and squats 500 pounds, and you can see what he looks like. He doesn't have a lot of trouble building muscle mass without eating meat. So it's just a personal preference, it's a lifestyle choice, and it's very workable. It's not really a problem. All right, next question. Best methods to measure body fat other than with calipers. Your favorite ice cream flavor, what to run during blast cycle, AI. Alright, a DEXA scan is really the only accurate way to measure body fat. Calipers themselves are not very accurate. They can be 5 or 6% off in your body fat, but if done using the same method and done by the same person, they are good at tracking changes, but they're not going to tell you exactly. They'll tell you that you lost 4% body fat over X number of weeks, but they won't tell you whether you're actually 11% or 15% accurately. So those don't work. The DEXA scan does, but the question comes down to, why do you need to know your exact body fat percentage? Sure, you can spend the money and find out with the DEXA scan, but it doesn't really help you. It's not practical. My favorite ice cream flavor is mint chocolate chip, but there's no such thing as a bad ice cream. And what AI to run during a blast cycle? I would lean towards Aromacin. But it depends on the person. Some people will do better with ADEX. All right, next question. Is it true that naturals cannot in any meaningful way boost HGH, etc., and thinking about it is a waste of time? Yes, and I will go so far as to say that as someone who has no intention of ever injecting it, you do not even need to know the existence of HGH. You don't need to know the word. There is literally nothing that you can do to your body short of injecting it that will impact it enough, either high or low, to have any measurable effect on your muscle mass or your body fat. So yes, it's not something that you should waste even 1 second of your time worrying about unless you plan on using it exogenously. All right, next question. Does taking ibuprofen after workout to reduce muscle pain hinder progress? Now that is a good question. And this has been debated. There's been quite a bit of research done on this, and to my knowledge, the current consensus is that it doesn't seem to inhibit muscle growth. There are some aspects of it that seem like it could potentially, but it doesn't actually seem to do it, at least enough that we can measure. So if you need ibuprofen for pain, go ahead and do so. If you don't want to get it systematic and you just need to get it in the joints or connective tissue, in some countries it's legal to buy a topical one. I can get it right down here at the local store, but it may not be legal in your country to get a topical version. However, this does beg the question of what are you doing in your training that's causing you to need the ibuprofen, and it might be time for you to take a deload if you're at that point. All right, final question. Is a large insulin spike really required for creatine uptake? And I will even change that to optimal creatine uptake. No, absolutely not. Unless you are fasted, your normal circulating insulin is enough to efficiently store creatine in your muscle tissue if taken in supplement form. So you don't really need anything with it. If you've eaten breakfast, you've got enough circulating insulin to do it properly. If you need to spike it just a little bit, a whey protein shake taken with it without any carbs added is more than enough to spike your insulin to do it. People seem to forget that whey protein itself is just as insulinogenic per calorie as a scoop of sugar is. So keep that in mind also. Alright guys, and that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time.